All right. Who's the best defenders in the league? Who do y'all have? This year, man, it's some people can say that it's a runaway. It's not even close. And then you have some people that say that it's getting down to the wire in terms of various guys that are pretty close. And the reason why you say that is because, like for instance, okay, you had Draymond who came back yesterday, and he was actually in my opinion, it was him and Mikhail Bridges that were neck and neck for defensive player of the year before he had got hurt. But all that has changed since he has came back. Now, let's let's kind of break down what we're talking about here, because I think that when people think of a defender, they think primarily uh just shot blocking or rim protection or getting a whole bunch of steals, which you know steals and deflections are a good thing, because of course when you get that steal or deflection or even a block shot and it translates into a points, into a score, and you're able to get a point off turnovers, that's even greater. But also we got to talk about on ball defense. Uh, a lot of people have put your PJ Tucker in the mist because of his impact that he's had on Miami. Uh, I have put now at one point I did have Thibault. I had Thibault and I had Mikhail Bridges neck and neck, and I had Draymond. But Mikhail Bridges, in in my opinion, he covers so much. He covers so much ground on what he can do. And it's no disrespect to PJ Tucker at all, because I'm gonna tell you something about PJ Tucker. It's been hard for the Milwaukee Bucks to some degree to fill a void like PJ Tucker. Yes, you have defenders on that squad like a Drew Holiday, even a Middleton. He's a defender, whether people want to believe it or not. I know there's some guys out there that don't think so, but Middleton is a defender. I'm not saying he's a defensive player of the year or anything like that, but he's a solid defender. And then another guy, well, of course, Giannis. You always gonna throw Giannis because Giannis is all over the floor. But another guy that I don't think gets talked about enough is Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis, he's a high energy guy, does the dirty work, and he can and he's gonna get you some buckets too as well. Uh, Now on Boston, I don't think people are looking at now. Wait, before I get to Boston though, let me say this too. Jared Allen, before he got hurt, he had a case too. Jared Allen had a case too because Jared Allen, uh, his impact defensively for the Cavs has been great, and everywhere Jared Allen tends to go, it seems that that team their whole mentality changes, especially on the defensive side of the ball. When you looked at Brooklyn, and when they had a great combination with Jared Allen and Karis LeVert and Dinwiddie and Joe Harris before KD and all of them had came, those guys were on the come up. They were on the come up. What's up with the Immortal Highlights? I see you in the building. Yeah, Okoro Okoro's on the come up, but when I think of when I think of the Cavs, right away you're the name that's going to come is Jared Allen, even Evan Mobley, but I don't quite have Evan Mobley as a defensive player of the year. Now another guy who I think doesn't really, it's just a crying shame that he gets overlooked time and time again is Marcus Smart. There are four players on the Boston Celtics that impact the game defensively. Jalen Brown, who's always been able to play, but I don't think he gets looked at enough for being a quote unquote two-way player. I don't really like to use that term, but that's what people are calling. What's up with it, Stephen Green? Why don't you step up in here, man? Hey, come on, man. Stephen Green, man, you got to come in here, man, and hop on the panel, bro. I did a video for you, man, for Lynn Bias. You didn't show up. There's been times, man, when we had a chat here. You don't want to hop on the panel. Come on, bro. We gotta hear that lean mean Stephen Green, man. Another guy, but the guys that I'm talking about on Boston, the four guys are Robert Williams, Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Marcus Smart. Yes, I said Jason Tatum. And I'm not talking about for defensive player of the year, okay? I'm just talking about just defense, uh, how they stepped it up over the course of the year. Um, Jason Tatum has since Ima Udoka has came there, he has definitely he's made them guys take their game to a whole nother level. And it's not just on offense; it's mainly on defense. Because my last point before I let the brother Stephen Green go, you have to realize something that Ima Udoka is a defensive minded coach, but he's able to adjust the thing. And I say it time and time again, and I think people are probably tired of me saying it though. And see, Boston is gonna surprise a lot of people, but Ima Udoka is supremely gifted with being able to play lockdown defense, or have have his players playing lockdown defense, but also he's able to adjust and he's able to play at a tempo on offense to where it's like, okay, these guys can play offense too. And that's why, like, people that are overlooking Boston right now, you're crazy, man. I'm not overlooking those guys. They are truly a threat, man. Go ahead, Stephen Green, man. What's up with it, man? How you feeling, man?
Man, what's smoking Polo? What's going on, my brother?
Man, you've been miss. Well, you haven't been missing out, but man, I did lend bias for you, man, and you did, man. I thought you gonna come through, man.
I was doing things around the house, getting a new stove, remodeling the house and everything, Polo. And I missed out, but I'm gonna get to that Lynn Bias story. But I'm gonna talk about your topic first. That those top five that I put on there, the name,
Mm-hmm.
they 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 underrated defensive players. They do the little things, and also they can affect the game. Like Patrick Beverly, P. Tucker, uh, Bridges. These guys don't get enough credit, but they're underrated. But they're good of a defensive players,
Right.
especially when it comes to playoff time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and Beverly, I put Beverly. He's my top five because I seen him when he was with the Clippers, Warriors, and then he played James. He that type of guy that he gets under your skin.
Right.
Those type of players.
Right.
But you were saying the Mark guy, Alapoko, he's a good defensive player. And sometimes when these players play defense, they might not do the big things, but they do the little defensive things. And people don't give credit. They don't give credit on that.
Right. Like the intangibles.
Right, right,
Mm-hmm.
right. And like you were saying about the Celtics, man, if you're the Celtics or the Timberwolves or the Pelicans, you wouldn't want to play them in the first round because they're deadly on defense.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a good point.
Yeah, when I was upset at my Sixers, man. We supposed to beat these playoffs team, and it seems like we can't beat them.
What? Well, I'm gonna say this, okay? Now, let me touch on what you had just said. Now, I don't have Patrick Beverly up there. Now, he's still a great defender and everything, but I don't think he's over there with Minnesota and everything. And although in Minnesota, they're competitive and everything, I just don't think that he's not that at that level where he was when he was with the Clippers earlier in his career, and then also when he was with when he was even with H Town or whatnot. But he's still I'm still able to utilize him. But now you talk about Miami. It's interesting that you mentioned Miami. Yeah, a guy that doesn't get mentioned on Miami enough. Look, Jimmy Butler, yes, what I'm saying, he's always going to be a two-way player. But if it wasn't for Bam, you know, Bam, is if I'm not mistaken, top five in shot blocking. He's going to get you rebounding, and also what's really great about a guy like Bam Adebayo is that he's able to move out on the perimeter too. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he's superb when it comes to offense and everything like that. But see, if you go back and you go look at those Miami games, Stephen Green, and I'm talking about even last year, Bam was really doing a lot of the work because guess who was gone? You had guys like Jimmy Butler gone, and you had guys like Oladipo gone, and he was having to hold the fort down by himself. So and that's why he was first team all defense. A lot of people don't even talk about that, but he was first team all defense last year. So
Right.
I think that Bam in that regard, yeah, I have Bam up there. Uh, and then you also have, I don't have a problem with Bridges and PJ Tucker because PJ Tucker has just superseded the expectations for me, Miami. He has the experience. He got the ring. You know what I'm saying? And plus, like you talk about getting under people's skin, PJ Tucker's gonna do that because he was getting under KD's
Right.
skin. As best that he could. Now, when you talk about the Sixers, listen, last night, was a clear example of us being a guy like Embiid, right?
Right.
Everybody's calling him going haywire, talking about he's the MVP and stuff like that. And I keep constantly telling people, listen, you could score buckets all day. He had 34, Jokic had 22. But dog, Jokic impact on the game is way more evident, and it's way more impactful. If you go back and you really go look at the game and everything, yeah, he only had 22 points, but he also had 13 rebounds and he had eight assists. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'll take that. I'll take a full stat line. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying yesterday, like Magic Johnson would have 15 points, have 10 rebounds, but he'll also have 10 rebounds. He'll have 12 assists. He'll also have like 5 steals. He'll also have a block or two. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? They run your ass out of the building. Look, Jokic should have my last point. Jokic should have like 40 something points. But guess what? When we lose, it don't do no good. It makes him look good. And listen, he's a choke artist. You know what I'm saying? He's shown that time and time again. Now, when I will give you this though, Stephen Green, when he played against Milwaukee and he was on a big stage against Giannis, no Harden, what did he do? Dude was killing. He was lights out. That's the best I've seen him play. 42 points. And on top of that, he was going head up with Giannis. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I want to see. I mean, isn't
Yeah.
that what you want to see?
I want to see him do that, and I want to see him do that in the playoffs.
Exactly.
When it's crunch time, that's what I want to see on a consecutive basis.
Hmm. Hmm.
Who I think we got Cleveland next, so we should do better when we play against Cleveland.
Yeah, we beat them, but hey, listen, they still remember that. And Cleveland's on everybody's radar now. To see everybody's wanting to play them now because they want to get back at them. But Cleveland, what you have to remember that they weren't on everybody's radar at first.
Right.
At first, wasn't nobody taking them serious. Now that they on everybody's radar, now they marking their calendars and everything. They be like, oh, okay. They think they just gonna beat us and everything like that. A bunch of nobodies who they think they are. People gonna try to go back at them.
Right. Right. Yeah, because if the season was to end, we would play them in the first round of playoffs.
Right, right. I listen. Like I said, man, the team right now to beat in the East, and I know everybody, they talking about the Heat. Man, it's Boston, man.
Yes. Boston stepping up. You can't sleep on them.
Mm-mm. Not like you did in the beginning of the year, because in the beginning of the year, what were they calling Jason Tatum? An inefficient shot jacker,
Yeah.
and that's how he was playing. He wasn't playing up to the level that he was supposed to. And I say Jason Tatum because he's considered the leader on the team.
Right. 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 Are you ready? Are you ready for the tournament?
Of course I am, man. Always. You said
Yep.
Tatum and Brown are locking up like Mike and Scotty. I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not. Jay, hey, what's up, Joe Biden? I'm not gonna go that far, but they're doing a good job. They're both in top five when it comes to the defensive
And
rankings. So,
that
but yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say that Williams kid for the Celtics. They sleeping on him. He's coming
Robert
along.
Williams. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, he's a high energy guy. He reminds me a lot of Bobby Portis for what he brings. You said, "What's up, Polo?" They killing on the perimeter. Yeah, they're killing on the perimeter, and but so is Marcus Smart, and so like Stephen Green, he just touched on it. So is Robert Williams. Robert Williams can get out on the perimeter too. Shout out to True the King TV because he pointed out a lot of things about, and I've been telling people about Robert Williams. It was just his whole thing was just staying healthy. What's up, Luda Ryder? What you laughing for? I mean, it's facts. Go look at Robert Williams, man. He's if I'm not mistaken, he's like between 1, 2, and 3 in blocks, and you got Jerry Jackson Jr. up in there. Right? And listen, you can laugh all you want though, Lou. They're actually beating good teams.
Yeah.
Chicago's not really there. They haven't really been beating anybody. Yo, who y'all beat? Y'all beat Detroit and who else? Oh, y'all beat Cleveland, right? I think Chicago beat Cleveland.
Do you think they're an NBA Finals team, the Celtics?
Say that again, brother.
I say, do you think the Celtics are NBA Finals team?
Mm, um, you know what? I'm not gonna go that far, but I'm gonna say that they can be a force to be reckoned with. Listen, it's gonna come down to the coaching because I'm a Udoka man he's brought the best out of Tatum and them. If and that's always been the monkey on Tatum and Brown's back is the fact that they can't get it done when it truly matters. You know what I'm saying? Like in the playoffs and all that jazz. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
You said nah, they don't have shooting. Yeah, they got shooting.
Yeah.
It might not be the shoot, but you also got to remember they got White too. They got White over there from San Antonio, and he's superseded. He's propelled them to a whole nother level in terms of what you bring in terms of both ends of the floor. So
Yep.
yeah, they're a decent shooting squad now. They might not be lights out or something like that. Like a couple of other teams. I can't name any teams right off the top of my head who just like okay, like Phoenix. Phoenix, and they shot only 37% against the Lakers, but they were the shots that they were taking, they were efficient shots. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't really need to do that because it was a clinic.
But what's
We
what's
said
unique?
the last in open threes, 20th, 20th and 3 point. Hey, I mean, you could go by the analytics all you want to, and you could bring up numbers and stuff. I'm talking about those guys individual. Now, as a team, yeah, but you know, are you gonna? You can't like okay, like a guy like Marcus Smart. Hey, you'd be a fool to leave him open. I'm not gonna leave him open. Are you, Stephen Green?
No way.
I'm not leaving him open.
Mm-mm.
But but think about what they're first in, and think about what they're top five in. And think about go look at their defensive efficiency and go look at their defensive ranking. then we're having a whole nother argument. Listen, we don't need it. You don't listen. Ima Udoka, he cares about defense more than he does offense. He said because he said the best defense makes an even superb offense.
Yeah. And also, I was looking at
But do you think they a finals team, Stephen Green?
I think they're Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals. I have to see more, but they're Eastern Conference Final team. But I have to see more, a little bit more of quality teams that they play and how they do with other winning teams. But they can go to the
But
Eastern Conference Finals.
you don't see them be okay. So who do you see them losing to?
I would say Milwaukee, because I think Boston's a 3 or 4. If they meet Chicago, that can go either way. I think between Chicago and Milwaukee could beat them. Um, I would like my Sixers to beat them, but right now, not right now with the Sixers. But yeah, between Milwaukee and Chicago,
Okay, so you could see Chicago beating them,
it can go 7
because
games.
Chicago really hadn't really they haven't really, man, they've been kind of struggling as of late.
Right.
You said
You think
they're number one. You're right. Yeah, but okay. My bad. My fault, Stephen Green. He does have a point though, Joe Biden. I just looked it up. That over the last, I think, 3 games. Okay, Joe Biden, I give you that. Look, hey, Joe Biden was right, man. They've been shooting 25%, but they still been winning or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I think they, when that outing against when they faced Boston, I think they were. I think they did it more on the mid range. When we remember when KD had that 50-point game. No, no, no. It was Tatum. Tatum that had a 50-point game. KD had 37. They were just doing a lot of mid range shots. I don't know if you saw that, Stephen Green.
yeah, I did. I saw he scored 50 some points.
Hmm. Man, look, man. What I mean, you told me to talk about Lynn Bias, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like,
I
man,
can,
when
I
you
can
tell hold on, when you tell me to do something, I'm gonna do it.
right.
So and then when I do it, I was like, man, where's Stephen Green at? Jacob was like, man, where's Stephen Green? We couldn't find him. Yeah, you
Yeah,
said he
'cause-
had to clean up. You said he had to get ready for the barbecue, put some meat on the grill, and what I'm saying, get the spades and the dominoes ready and everything. But come on, man,
but
we wanted to
see,
talk about that, man.
yeah, I mean, hey, Paulie, you want me to talk about it? You want me to talk about it later?
Man, no, we can talk about it now. I mean, you sound like you ready to get up out of here, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it don't matter. But you up here now, Stephen Green.
I go ahead and talk about it because I'm at work right now. But I'm gonna talk about it.
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna
what it
talk
was.
about it.
That's what it was. That boy at work. Okay, yeah, I know how it is. Yeah. Hey,
I'm
look,
gonna talk.
you could tell when the nigga at work and shit. Them motherfuckers be like, man, I can't stay that long. They be under pressure. You got to clap back in.
But I'm gonna tell you, Paula. I'm gonna tell you about that.
All right.
I'm gonna take y'all back to 1985,
Mm-hmm.
the week of my birthday. My older brother was stationed in Maryland, in Silver Spring. As a matter of fact, my brother dated Lynn Bias' girlfriend friend. So that's how he met Lynn
Wait,
Bias.
wait, wait, wait. Lynn by his girlfriend's friend.
Right.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, they my brother and they all knew each other, and me and my brother were talking about the Maryland game because he was a Maryland fan, and we was talking about Len Bias, and I was like, man, I wish I could meet Len Bias, man. You know, he's my
Mhm.
favorite player. I like the way he carries himself on the court, the interviews, and he said, "Oh, you want to meet Len Bias, huh?" I said, yeah. I ain't never thought it was gonna happen. So one day I come from school, and he's at the house, and he picks me up and takes me to College Park, Maryland,
Right.
and they was playing Villanova. So we going up to Maryland to the game. Len Bynes, a good performance. Um, he's doing good at the game.
Hmm.
I was all excited and thrilled and all this. Then after the
Yeah.
game over, my brother was like, this wait for a second. Let's hang around here for a little bit because people was leaving and everything. So everybody was going in the back of their locker rooms, changing their clothes. So some of the players had came out, meet with the fans, signing autographs, taking pictures. Here come Len Bias.
Hmm.
My brother shall say, "Hey Len, come over here." So Len's walked to my brother, gave him some dap, and he said, "Oh, here's your number one Maryland Tarfield fan, man. He brags about you. You know, you his favorite player and everything." I heard you my favorite player, man. He said, you look up to me. I said, yeah, man. I said, when I come out of school, I want to be a basketball player. He said, good, man. He said, whatever you want to do, man, you could do it. Don't quit.
Hmm.
Then he gave me some dap. Then Lynn, my brother. You know those Polaroid pictures you come out and they come out your hand.
Right.
Yeah, we took that picture, and I was
Hmm.
just talking to my brother last week if he could find that picture so he can send me a copy of it. And
Right.
that's the reason why I'm a Maryland Terrapin fan is because of Lynn Bites.
Wow.
And
Wow.
two, I saw the NBA draft. I thought he was going to the Cleveland Cavaliers, but he
Hmm.
ended up going to the Celtics. I'm like, the Celtics just won the championship. How did they get the second round pick?
Yeah.
I, I was shocked.
Right. Right.
So
Hmm.
my dad owned a business. So this was like during the summer, and I'm working for my dad,
Hmm.
and we go to this convenience store across the street, and all the buzz was Lynn passed away. Lynn passed away. And I say, no. I say, no. I say, they may be joking, man. I don't think he passed away.
How
So
old was you? How old was you during this time, man? Cause that.
I was 9 years old.
Oh man. Yeah. It was, yeah. Young one. Okay.
Yeah. So I keep hearing the buzz about Lynn died of drugs and cocaine. I didn't believe it.
Hmm.
So I went back to my dad's place. I went. His office had a TV. So I'm going in the
Hmm.
office and I'm looking at the TV. All day you hear about Lynn Bias passing away, and man, I was devastated, man. I
Yeah.
was just devastated. I was crying. I just couldn't believe it because he was like a brother to me, and I seen some of the games, man. That he took Jordan to school, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
know. Man. He was lighting Jordan. Hey, I'm telling you, man. A lot of people don't believe it, but man, he could have been. If anybody had a chance to be better than Jordan, it was him.
yeah, and too, cause Boston plans was half him as a backup player. I think the year after that, Lynn would have been a starter. That's how good he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, cause back then, it was a little bit different. Unless you were just coming in, just like okay, like Jordan's situation was different because they were looking for that guy, to make immediate impact and everything.
right?
You said how good was he compared to Mike? Shh, man, you got to go, man, go look at him. Hey, look, he was a better shooter. Yeah, he was schooling him, man. Dog, Stephen Green, man, he's not lying about this, man. Dog, go look at the game. Go pull
I'm
it
gonna
up,
hey,
Joe. Ask Lou the writer, man. Man, Len Bias, dog. I'm telling you, he was a terror. Dog, he could do so much. Hey, hey, Stephen Green, am I lying? This motherfucker could shoot. This motherfucker could run in transition. This dude was athletic, like catching ollies. Like I'm talking
hey, hey,
about dunking on Darty, dunking on Sam Perkins because Sam Perkins and Darty were projected to actually, and I'm not lying, it was Darty, uh, him and Worthy. They were all projected to be better than Michael Jordan. Those were the guys that they were talking about and everything. And then Jordan, he went ahead and left, and the rest was history. But he was dunking on them guys. He was
hey,
6'8". Oh, my
right.
bad. Go ahead, Steve.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Polo. I'm gonna tell you, I saw a play with my own eyes. He took the ball on the baseline.
Right.
The guy, he shot the ball, he missed it. Lynn got the rebound, and I was like, I said, if this man going to the baseline, man, they're gonna call a charge on him. Lynn didn't care. He took the ball from to the baseline, raised the ball up. The center tried to challenge him, and Lenny dunked on him.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's unbelievable. And
I
then
mean,
he bumped the guy a little bit. The ref ain't called nothing.
yeah, and he could, yeah, he could dunk and he was athletic and all that, but he can also shoot. A lot of people don't realize, man, how good of a shooter he was, man. Dude had an excellent jump shot, man. And you gotta remember he was 6'8", 6'9". He was bigger than Jordan. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like dude could do it all, man, and it was fun to watch. Now, uh, I think the first time they had met up or whatever, I think UNC had got the best of him, but then he came back and see he was the ACC. They won the ACC tournament, and he was the
Right.
ACC MVP. But uh, Michael Jordan, he ended up getting that year that he played. He got the conference player of the year
Oh,
and,
okay.
and all of that. Yeah, but he ended up getting the tournament MVP at ACC because the Maryland Terrapins they won it, and during that time they was well, they was ACC. Every school's in different conferences now, man. It's crazy, but yeah, man, Steven, man, I wasn't trying to keep you, man. I know you be having to go to work, man. Y'all be hitting, man. Y'all be coming through, man. Y'all boys be at work, man.
But I had to tell you that story, man. I had to, man. Sooner or later, I had to tell you that
Yeah, that's
story.
why, man. Me and Jacob were waiting on you, man. You said Kevin McHale would work with him on the footwork. Yeah, yeah. That's why, like, I was like, man, dog. I did that one on a Sunday, man. Said
Yeah.
hopefully Stephen Green coming in. I
But,
was like,
but,
man.
but
I,
some of your
I ain't
stuff,
gonna lie, man. I was kind of disappointed, Stephen, man.
but some of your alerts has a time. Then when the time I get on there, it
I
don't
know.
show up.
Yeah, yeah. You ain't. Hey, Lou the writer knows the deal, man. It's because of the LDBC, man. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to send our notifications out, stuff like that. But, it's all right. We still gonna work. We still gonna grind. I understand. It ain't your fault, brother. It ain't your fault. I just be joking, man. But hey, that video, because I had to restructure it because it was some things that uh, you, you know, okay, I don't want to hold you, but I'm gonna tell you this. I didn't know about that camp that they had competed at. and they were going at and when I did my research or whatever, because they were competing in a skills camp in the summer. It was
Right.
Len Bias and Jordan, and there were a whole bunch of other 5-star guys there and stuff like that. And they said Len Bias and Jordan were ahead of the pack.
Wow. Wow. Do you think we'll ever see a player like Len Bias in the future?
You know what? I'm trying to see if there's a guy like you know I when I think of Len Bias, man, sometimes I would say Giannis, but Giannis, he had to develop his shot. Len Bias had a shot. I'm looking at how he attacks the rim. He got a first step. Dude could catch the alley oop. You know what I'm saying? He was fast and quick for his size. You know what I'm saying? Like real agile, and he could play defense too. He could play defense too. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, man, get that shit out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Zion was something like Len Bias.
What'd you say,
He was
brother?
Zion Williamson. Zion Williams.
Zion?
Yeah, because
Nah.
he was like that hyper Len.
Yeah, man. Nah, man. Uh-uh. Not Zion, man. I mean, Zion got athleticism, but Lynn was in shape though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That nigga was, he was cut up. You know what I'm saying? But he was solid. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't get tired. Zion
Right.
be up in there pity patting down the court and stuff like that. He be huffing and puffing and shit.
Yep.
Lynn was a locomotive, man.
Yep. They say
But
they say he was a
man,
warrior.
I appreciate you pulling up though, bro. Steven, man, showing your boy some
Yeah.
love, man. But I mean, you got anything else, man? Before I go ahead and close it out, brother.
I'm gonna talk to y'all later. If you got a show later on, I'll be on it.
Okay, yeah, definitely, man. Just pull up anytime, and if even if you come through on the chat, you know what I'm saying. It's all love, man. Just I would just messing with you, man, about that limb bias. But I'm glad you was able to share your story, man.
Right. Right. But I'll let you later, Polo.
No doubt, man. Hey, I appreciate everybody pulling up in here, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the homie Luda Rider Sports, John Bond 247. And Immortal Highlights. I appreciate y'all pulling up. Like the video, share, subscribe, hit the notification. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. I'll get at you later.
Hey man, shout out my boy